Hello friends, welcome back to another week, to another video. And of course you saw from the title, we're discussing needs. So this video is going to have a lot of vulnerability. The past full moon that we had was in Aries, and I personally have my moon in Aries. If you're familiar with astrology, we all have an astrological chart, and planets are going to be placed in obviously different parts of your chart based on when you were born. And for me personally, my moon is in Aries, and I felt like this full moon brought out a lot of things for me to process through. One of those things is having an understanding of what my needs are and the importance of knowing and getting to know what your needs are, how to communicate them to the people in your life. I find it easier to communicate my needs when it comes to like business and career opportunities, but when it comes to love and relationships and friendships, I've always had a hard time communicating my needs and my boundaries. The reason why this was so hard for me is because when I was a little girl, I was not modeled how to create boundaries. The people in my life did not have boundaries either, because of course they didn't know how to set boundaries. So what this does is it causes us as we grow older to not know how to communicate with others, to not know how to create boundaries, or to identify what our needs are. Here's another thing that I want to mention real quick. For girls and for guys, they're going to look up to their parents for how to treat themselves, because kids learn based on people's behavior. So for me, for example, I model after my mom because that was who I was around when I was growing up. So take a look at your caretaker and the people that you were around the most and look at how you model their behavior. So for me, for example, I noticed that my mom had a really hard time taking care of herself, and she didn't really know what her needs were, and she didn't get her needs met. So I notice now that I have that same tendency to be like, oh yeah, I'll just sacrifice this or sacrifice that because my needs aren't important. And this isn't to shame her by any means. This is all about awareness and realizing that if we want to have any sort of healthy connections in our lives, we need to understand why we're doing what we're doing. And for me personally, it helps to understand where those things come from or where they stem from. So anyways, the deeper core wound behind not being able to set boundaries, not identifying your needs, or even believing that we have needs is the feeling of not being worthy of love. Or at some point in your life, you were so devoid of love that love was just either withheld from you for whatever reason, that whenever someone comes into your life, whether it be friends or family members or even a lover, you will sacrifice yourself to receive love from those people because you feel like you need that so badly to the point of sacrificing your own self because you're trying to get your needs met. So ultimately, a lot of these problems that we see and the problems that I've had in my past relationships were being completely unaware of the fact that I had certain needs. I wasn't getting my needs met. And because of that, I was sacrificing myself because I wanted other people to give me those things that I was looking for without even communicating to them how to give it to me. So basically, it's kind of like beating around the bush. Let me give another example. You're in a relationship with someone and you are someone who really likes to spend a lot of quality time, but you don't communicate this to your partner. You just expect them to know that you want to spend a lot of time with them. But maybe that person is someone who loves their independence and their love language may be gifts or something else. So that person may be gifting you all these things, but they honestly love to spend time with friends a lot and they're working all the time. You're going to start to feel probably a little bit of resentment and maybe even anger because your needs are not being met. First problem with this is obviously, number one, you don't know what your needs are. Number two, you're not communicating them to the person that you're involved with. These things are obviously important in friendships as well. In order for you to feel supported, to feel loved, to feel heard in a friendship, you need to communicate those things with the people that you're around. And if you know within yourself, okay, my need is support and love, and I want to have connection with people. If your friends are cutting you down and they're not giving you the support, why are you allowing those people to be in your life? That's where you kind of have to check yourself and say, okay, why am I allowing myself to be mistreated? Why am I not setting boundaries? And why do I have some sort of belief system that says I'm not deserving of getting my needs met? So I'm sharing this because this has been a really big topic for me this week, and I like to share the things that I'm going through with you guys in the hopes that it will help you and bring awareness into your life as well, because I know that I'm not the only person going through this stuff. I realize that this is a collective thing. We're all going through this together. And so I'm willing to be vulnerable with you guys and to let you know the struggles that I have and the things that I'm going through, because I know it's going to help someone. So yes, this whole entire week has been me identifying where it is my needs are not being met and how I can meet those needs. And that's pretty much all I have for today's video. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Let me know if you can relate with this at all, or let me know what your needs are and maybe even how you communicate them in your partnerships, in your friendships, in your romantic relationships, because once again, there's so much that we can talk about on this topic. If you guys are interested in doing coaching with me, the information is in the description box below. Subscribe to my channel if you guys want to be a part of the fam. Like the video. It supports the channel and helps me grow. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.